So I just want to give a little bit of kind of an introduction. There's three of us on here. So Pam already introduced herself. She's our Director of Professional Learning. She is amazing. She's an amazing resource. So my name is Carla Weinhold. I actually am on the East Coast in Maryland. I teach 7th grade ancient world history, but most importantly, I use Activeclassroom with my students. So I'm going to be coming at this from the perspective of a teacher who's using the program and kind of tips and tricks that I use with the program.
Okay.
So we have Elisa, who is with us today from our sales team, and she's going to kind of be my support person. So since there's only just a few of us, I am fine if you want to unmute and like stop me and say, hey, I'm confused, or we can use the chat. I can't see the chat when I'm sharing my screen too. So I'm hoping, are you guys on my screen? So you guys see yourselves?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to move everybody over here, and then I'm going to be weird talking at my second monitor. All right, so if you can have your cameras on, that would be great, just so that we can kind of read your body language and interact with you. If you're confused and things like that, that's kind of just helpful to us and to me as we're presenting. If you need me to speed up, slow down, I know we have an experienced user and a newbie, so I'm going to try and make sure I can have features for both of you. So my goal is that you can come away with something cool and exciting that you can kind of use with your students on Monday, because Activeclassroom has so many resources that are available. And as a teacher, especially in a virtual world, it's making a lot of my instruction that much easier with my kids, and they can interact with primary sources and resources, things that especially in ancient history, we have a hard time finding those primary sources and those engaging activities that we want to get our kids, because they're like, oh my gosh, this is so old. Why am I studying this? What does this have to do with me? So my students really enjoy a lot of the activities in Activeclassroom, and they're engaged. They want to learn. So we're going to look at a couple different the activities that I think you can use to engage your kids. So here's kind of our flow for today. Just kind of our welcome, who we are. I want to talk a little bit about what Activeclassroom is, especially for you, Sarah, since you're really new to it. So I want you to be able to understand kind of what this resource is and how specifically it can help you with your students. We're going to kind of take a little bit of a tour of the homepage and kind of the setup for Activeclassroom. And we have a great help page that is always accessible. I sent a message to the help desk today, and probably in an hour and a half, they already had the solution solved and back to me. We're going to talk about how you can find activities. There are 5,000 different activities in the Activeclassroom platform that are available for you to use with your students. So we are constantly adding new things. Even things with the coronavirus have already been added. Even things with the recent elections have already been added. So there are teams constantly adding things to meet the needs of our instruction. And we all know our standards are always looking at adding new things and making that connection to modern day. So that has that ability as well. I'm going to show you how to assign activities to your students and then how to grade them. So do you all use a learning management system like It's Learning, Google Classroom? You guys are on Google Classroom. And what's nice is they communicate with each other. So that's another thing. So it's not like, oh, I have to send them here to send them here. They can communicate with each other. So we're going to show you how to assign, how to grade, and then give you some time to kind of explore. So thinking about what you're going to be teaching in the next week or 2 weeks, and then let's see if we can find some activities that can slowly start adding into your resources to use with your students. So it seems like a lot, but we'll take it step by step. So the first thing I want to show you is I'm going to kind of model some things on my screen, and this question mark, it's going to be in the upper right-hand corner, is your help page. There are so many resources. little tutorial videos. And when I say little, they're like 30 seconds to 2 minutes just to show you how to do things. So it's not like you have to sit through a 15-minute how-to video and they are selling you and all that. It's just a quick, you need to do this and you do this, and they model it for you. It's so easy and accessible to you. So we're going to look at that. All right, so let's go to the actual live show. So when you go into Activeclassroom, and this is going to be from a student view, it's very simple. They get 3 icons. There's an atlas icon. So the Nystrom World atlases that we have, I can have this. I just happen to link the U.S. history and the world history. I don't know if you have the Nystrom World History Atlas. These activities are embedded into Activeclassroom. So we have the paper atlases, but the virtual atlases are amazing. They can open it just like a regular book. So I can push out the whole atlas to them and say, okay, let's turn to, let's find Mesopotamia. And we can zoom in and look at the maps together. So just like you would with a paper book, they have that available as well. And then there's the assignments and grades. And this is where I always go to my students after I've already assigned them something. So what I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to have you go to Activeclassroom. So I'm going to actually log out for a minute. So when you go here, so Natasha, I'm going to have you be student 1, just the number 1 at, and then let me find my chat. Sorry, lots of things up here.
I can get it, Carla. I'll send it to him in the chat.
Can you do like the at weinhold.edu?
Sure.
And Sarah, I'm going to have you be student 2. So I am going to be my student demo. If I put it in the right
I think I got it. I think it's in there. I think I got it in there. Pam, did I beat you?
You did. You got it.
Thank
Perfect.
you, babies. So what you can see, if you can just kind of give me a thumbs up, yep, I'm in. It should say student 1 or student 2 at the top. Okay. Unmute. Can you unmute for me, Sarah?
I just said, I'm not sure I even know how to go to do that right now while we're on video.
So open a little browser, like open a new tab.
Okay. And because we're screen sharing, my computer won't let me go there.
Oh, if you press escape, Sarah.
Okay, thank you.
That should minimize. So you can access your icons at the bottom. Are you on a Mac or a PC?
A Mac.
Okay. Did that help you?
Not really.
Where you could minimize maybe?
Okay, let me try doing that. But I am not having...
Worst case scenario, Sarah, if you get kicked off, you just get back on the meeting and we'll let you back in. So don't worry about that.
This is no pressure.
All right, no pressure. Here we go. Let me work on that. And it won't let me even minimize. Bummer. Okay, so I'm getting out. Leaving.
And we'll have what when she comes back. I'm not sure why my daughters. All right, so Natasha, I know that you're very familiar. Have you gone in from the student perspective to see all the tools and resources that your kids can use?
Yeah, I have, and I'm in already under student 1.
Okay.
I started to say that Sarah needs to make sure she puts student 2. I kept putting student number 1.
Oh,
yeah. So let's here. We'll just put there that she needs to be student 2.
Elisa, you should be able to let her in when she pops back into the waiting room.
Oh, so my biggest, oh, no, it's not my biggest issue. One of my issues is that all the assignments I've signed last year's kids, for some odd reason, is showing up for this year's kids, and I don't know why. Because I took out last year's kids and I put in new classes.
Right. So
All their
did you,
assignments from last year are there.
all the students are still there too?
Nope, students are gone.
So did you keep the same class name and just delete the students?
Yes.
Okay, that's why, because the assignments are now connected to that class. So if you go from your teacher account, if you go into your assignments and grades, into your manage assignments, you can delete all those.
Okay. The good thing is I need them, but
Right.
It does confuse the kids. So
that's what I do. I go in at the end of the quarter and I delete all my old assignments. I star the ones that I know in my favorites in the activities.
Okay.
But I delete them out of my assignments and grades once I know my quarter closes.
Okay. That's a good idea. Thank you. So what I need to do is favorite them. That's what I never seem to have time to do, is to organize myself.
So I'm going to show you while we're waiting. I'm going to switch to my teacher account, and I'm going to show you how to make something called an activity set, because that might be something that you really want to do, because then you can save that from year to year. Yeah. So when you go into your activities to find your activity, so you know how to search and how to assign, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you go in there, there's this little folder to the right-hand side.
Oh, wait, where did you get the little folder?
So I went to,
there, and
I went to activities.
Okay.
And then when you're in your teacher account, this folder will be here, and you click on that folder and you can build an activity set. So if I want to build an activity set, so what is your current unit?
Constitution, U.S. Constitution.
Okay. So I put my U.S. Constitution. I can put in a keyword. I'm assuming you're in quarter 3-ish.
Yeah.
Or you can put like unit, whatever number. So then I can still search. Just like I would search to find activities to assign, this little check mark puts it into that folder.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we just did that play, the top one.
I love the plays. I just did the interview. Have you done any of the interviews yet?
No.
Some of those are good too. So you can put them in, and then you can also edit the order.
Oh, great.
So if you wanted to do quarter 1, week 1, you could do that. And then you save it. So instead of going in and searching here for next year, you click on the word activity set. So because I write curriculum maps.
Yeah, that's hugely helpful. Thank you.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes. So that's really good. And you can also kind of build your own content. So if you have curriculum that you want to add, you can go to my content. So when we go into an activity, and this is kind of an advanced thing too, while we're waiting for Sarah. So let me find, so if we go into like a C3, oh, here comes Sarah.
Yay.
So how we have this table of contents here, you can actually add things and make your own activity.
Oh.
So there's so many like features that I could teach you for hours.
That's
all right.
Here. That's
all right.
On a Friday afternoon.
So let me switch back to my student account. So Sarah, if you look in the chat, Natasha sent you your student with the number 2 at winehold.edu.
Oh my gosh, it's pouring. Wow.
And I'm fine, Sarah and Natasha, if you guys just stay unmuted,
Okay.
since there's only a few of us.
I am right now trying to even find that. edu. Okay, let me. For that.
It's not a real email. Yeah.
I was able to get into Google to Active Classroom, my account, but it wouldn't let me.
So if you go into, are you in your account in Active Classroom now, Sarah?
I was, yes.
So go ahead and go back into your account. I'll show you how to get out and kind of get in as me.
Oh,
or get in as one of my students.
Okay, hold that thought for a second then. Let me see if I can get into that other classroom. That's okay. Thought I had this all going good. I am so sorry. I don't know why
this is about helping you. So it's about focusing on what you need.
You're doing great.
Uh-oh, I think she left.
Oh no. And I'm not at school. Otherwise I would help her because I see that she is at school. But I already am at home.
Right. So we'll switch and go back to showing Natasha some more things. So Natasha, do you know how to grade in Active Classroom?
Yeah, I wish it did more grading. It only does like one little section. And then I have to go back through. Is there a way to get more of it just checked?
So if Active Classroom will grade if it's something that's like a selected response. So anything that they have to type in a word, you do have to go in and grade.
Okay.
But what I like, and you know what, I'm going to actually, I'll go into this is my kind of school account. So I like that I can go in, for example, I just did the Power Basics.
Mm-hmm.
So I like one of the things we didn't answer the why or why not. So I made it a 0 point value.
Oh, okay.
And all I had to do was go in, and it doesn't matter if I mark it, I just have to click that it's done. It doesn't have a value, but then it will put the grade.
Oh, okay. So yeah, but for some reason, so I like doing the map activities. So they just did the map of the Revolutionary War battles. And yeah, it only grades a few, and I have to go back in and grade so many.
Oh, no, that's not the one I wanted to go in. Sorry. I have lots of Active Classroom accounts.
No,
I should be in my super user account so that I can go. Have you seen the new mapping activities?
Well, I don't know if that's what this did or not. So the kids did one on Revolutionary War battles. It was called, Active Classroom.
It may not come up on this one because I'm in the World History account, I think.
Atlas of U.S. History, Patriots Fight, right there.
Okay, so the Atlas of U.S. History.
Yeah, so it was Atlas level 1. Level 1 is what I did.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
I'm going to show you another feature that might be another thing. It might be a little challenging for them at first. We have these new things called, why do I not see it? You guys may not have it. The mapping. Elisa, do they have the mapping, like world history mapping U.S. history?
They should have that. So I'll do an email. I'll send an email. They should have all of the mapping content.
Okay. So I'm going to switch to my school account.
Mm-hmm.
So I can show you the mapping.
Okay.
And then Lisa can take care of. So this mapping U.S. history. So if we were doing the Revolutionary War. So there's this mapping U.S. history. So if we go to view it, I'm viewing it as a teacher right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I can even kind of assign one. So what it does is it takes this map and has them do activities where they kind of stamp, they put dates with text boxes, they
Ooh.
mark things. So they're basically creating a virtual map based on what the directions say.
Oh, that's cool. They would have, yeah, they would have liked that. I guess we'll just wait till the Civil War because we're done with the Revolution. But
right. But
awesome.
there would be a lot of those available.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
So if we, even if I just do U.S. history, mapping U.S. history, there are these close reading ones. There's little quick writes, which I like as like an exit ticket.
Oh, cool. Can I see that?
Absolutely.
Thank
So so depicting this, just, it's like, here's one topic. So you can just assign them this quick write.
Uh-huh.
So this is like a great, hey, exit ticket. We've been talking about this.
Okay.
Let me see if there's a Civil War. Let me just type in Civil War. So here's like a close reading on the Civil War. Here's like one of the building the maps for the Civil War battles.
Great.
So here's the quick writes.
Okay.
So the slavery issue.
Okay.
Resources, so they can click on, so if they use the Civil War battle map, and then they can use this as kind of your like formative assessment kind of piece.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like these because they're already set up, they're quick. I can assign one piece, they can answer virtually.
Okay. That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now,
that.
trying to think of some other resources that I know. And that's where the mapping the news comes from. And then are you aware of the We the People resources?
No.
So We the People, I like We the People because they're leveled. So there's like a level 1, 2, 3, and I think 4. And they're based on the students' readability level on their Lexile levels.
Okay.
So some of the information would be the same, but it's at different readability levels.
Okay.
So like, did the Civil War test and transform the American constitutional system, which is at, a 1250, but there might be another one that might connect with it. Like, how does it protect your right? So here's 2.
Yeah.
So I like the We the People to use them for, I recommend them to some U.S. history folks.
Okay. Thank you. That looks good. The We the People. I need to write this down.
So Natasha, I'm going to send you an email right now that's got a flyer of the whole collection of the U.S. history titles.
Okay.
And then I'm going to leave it open until we're done. And then I will write out the ones that Carla has gone over.
Okay.
So you'll know that these were the ones we went over that you were interested in going back in. But that will show you, instead of going through into the platform and pulling down subject and series, all the books and lessons that go with US, that will show you what's available.
That's great. Thank you. I'm wondering if thank you. There's Sarah. I was just about to call you.
Yay!
Yay.
So Sarah, you're still muted. It automatically mutes you when you come in. It's just a feature.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I apologize. Miss Novice here, really bad. This is looking good. Okay, so get me going here.
All right, so are you in Activeclassroom?
I am in Activeclassroom.
And you're in as you as Sarah, correct?
Correct.
So in the top right-hand corner, see the log out button?
Here we go again. Hold on. I see where show me where you're talking on your machine.
So right here.
Log out. Right.
Yep. So click that log out.
Okay, hold on. Oh, no, it doesn't want to play. Just, I had this whole thing. Oh, good. Here it goes. Oh, yay.
Good.
All right. So log out. Got it.
So now where your email address is, can you type in student and then just the digit 2.
Okay, I will. Capital student or no?
It
Doesn't
does
matter.
no lowercase.
Okay.
And then
lowercase.
do the @ sign,
Yep.
and then WIEN
WIEN.
HOLD
Uh-huh.
.edu, just .edu. And then the password is going to be the word password, all lowercase.
Okay.
And then you can hit enter, and you should have a screen that has 3 little icons.
Student 2 at winehold.edu. Let's try the password again, which is password.
Yes, all lowercase.
Oh my goodness gracious. No, don't give me that. Okay, let's try again. PASSWORD.
Did you make sure the I is before the E in Winehold?
Yes.
Okay, because sometimes people switch it and I say it's the only rule that I follow, I before E.
Yeah, now it, it says I need to change my password. I'll just tell it okay.
No, don't tell it okay.
Well, it didn't go on any further, so here it is.
Oh,
So you're on this screen now?
I am on the screen that looks like a student screen. Yes.
Perfect.
And it
So
says 2 at the top.
good. So we are going to, there's 2 ways that your students can access activities. So
Okay.
one is on the recent activity page, but
Okay.
sometimes for my students, that's a bit overwhelming. So I always tell my kids to go to the assignments and grades. So that little suitcase that's in the top left. So go ahead and click on assignments and grades.
Okay, I'm also writing this down.
No, that's totally fine.
Okay, go to there, click on it.
Yep, click on assignments and grades, and you will see that I have listed a whole lot of activities. I wanted to give you a chance to look at a couple different things. I just threw a bunch of things. We're going to actually do an activity together.
Okay.
So I can show you, we'll do it like a student, and then I'm actually going to go in and show you how to grade it like a teacher. What what I like also about Activeclassroom is right now it's a red X because you didn't submit it.
Right.
And once the students submit it, it's a green little check mark. And then once I release the grades back to them, then they can see the grade here.
Okay.
So everything is in one place. And I like right now in the virtual world where a parent says, well, they said that they did it. And I said, yes, if you go to their page, is there a little red X? And they're like, yes. I said, that means they did not submit it. If they don't submit it, I don't know to grade it. And they're like, oh. So it gives that other piece of accountability for them to be able to see what they're doing with their work. So what I want you to do is actually click on the little rocket ship, like a rocket ship would launch. Over to the right, we're going to look at the decision making, the very top activity. This is my favorite activity to start the year, Sarah. You will love this. So click on the rocket ship and it's going to open. And another thing that I like is the instructions pop up automatically. And you as the teacher have the ability to put your own directions in.
Oh, wow.
So, and then we know our kids always remember every direction. They never forget what they're doing. So the first thing I show them is this little piece of paper. So if you see where it says turn in assignment at the top, if you go to the right, right under your little avatar picture,
right,
there's a piece of paper with a folded corner. Click on that and the instructions come back again.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
So for the kids that always have to have repeat of directions, they can have them repeated as much as they want because all they have to do is click on the directions. So if you look at the next icon is a paper clip right next to the paper.
Yes.
So when we happen to go back or when we're doing a virtual world, let's say you want your students to read a piece of text, but you want to give them a Word document to do as a graphic organizer.
Mm-hmm.
They can upload their graphic organizer work to the active classroom assignment, and you'll get that to your grading in one place.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. So I still have kids that will still email it to me because they're like, I just wanted to make sure. And I'm like, that's fine. So the third icon right next to that is a discussion forum. So we're not going to go there today, but every assignment that you create also has a discussion platform. So what I do with this active classroom assignment is after we do some work, especially this year when we were virtual, I had my kids had a virtual discussion on which settlement they would live in, and they did it in the discussion forum.
Nice.
So they could, so it's kind of like a chat room, but it's embedded within this assignment.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that either. That's great.
Oh, good. I love when I can teach people new things.
Yes.
So the next thing is for this assignment going to be really awesome.
Oh.
So it's the highlighter.
Whoa.
And it'll say select some text in order to add some annotations. So we're going to kind of do this together.
Okay.
So click on the left-hand side, the table of contents that says level 1, where would you settle?
Uh-oh. Where's that?
On the left?
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. In the black. Right.
Yes, so that's our table of contents. So I went ahead and assigned you both levels. When I'm working with my students, my struggling readers, I'll give them a level 1, but then my higher able readers, I'll give them level 2. It's the same general content, just more in-depth vocabulary in the level 2. So just for now, let's click on level 1.
Okay.
So in the directions, it said, as you read, highlight the pros and cons of each settlement. So if you find a sentence that tells you something good about Society A, so the very first sentence says, this society is located on a great river that makes it easy to farm. So if you take and highlight that sentence.
Wait, I have it. Okay. Okay. Got it.
She went to the picture.
So if you actually highlight that first sentence and then go back and click on that highlighter at the top,
Yeah.
it'll give you two highlight, says choose a highlight color. And you can choose, I preset it for you, that anything that's a positive feature of that society would get a green color, and anything that would be negative would be a red color or pink. So you just click on the color that you choose for the highlight.
Gotcha.
And hit save a change.
Wow.
When you assign an assignment, there are preset, and I'll show you that when we do some, there are preset highlights. You can change those. So that's what I did when I assigned it. I only gave you the choice of green or red.
Okay.
So what I do with this with my students is I have them actually read, and then as a teacher, I can go in and see their highlights afterwards. So like I'll have that smart aleck kid who will just say, this is all going to be red.
Yeah, red. Yeah.
And then I can go in and make a comment when I grade and go, we don't highlight entire sentences. And I can also go in and highlight. I should be able to, there's a way to, I can delete the annotation when I click on it. And then my highlight goes away. So
Wow.
all I did to do that was I highlighted. I'm just picking a color. And then, oh man, I didn't want to highlight that sentence. So I just click on it and hit delete annotation.
Oh, great.
Okay, let me try that.
Yeah, so go ahead and try and highlight, just try and highlight a couple things.
Okay. Highlight. Choose a color. Let's go red, even though it's not. And then it says change pages or save changes, and you do what?
So are you trying to delete the annotation?
Yes, I wanted to delete it.
So if you click on what you already highlighted, all you have to do is click delete annotation, and then it'll pop up and says, are you sure? And then you just say, okay, and then it goes away.
So let me try that again. I couldn't get that to do that.
You need a mixed color. Some are
Okay.
good and some are bad.
So
Wait a
now,
minute.
how do I make it go away? Because
So when you actually highlight something, so I'm going to highlight one of the sentences.
right, and I did that.
Okay, so when you highlight it, in the paragraph, click on the actual highlighted bar in your actual reading.
Yes.
And then does it give you the choice to say
Now
save
it
changes
says,
or delete?
yes, now
Yep.
I got the delete. Okay. And I delete the annotation and I say yes. Okay, perfect.
So what this decision making, and I really like decision makings in the activity, especially for middle school, we know that they're social beings and they like to discuss. So the decision making sets them up. This one gives them 3 different societies that they're going to read about. And they are, when they learn, the kids will go back, go, wait, we read about this. This was Egypt. So it's Egypt, Mesopotamia, and then kind of like a hunter-gatherer society, which is where we start with our ancient civilizations.
Okay.
So I have them read, just highlight the pros and cons, and that's kind of one day. And then the next day we come back and we have a discussion of, okay, do you want to live in society A or B or C? And in person, I would have them actually go to the corners and they would discuss, and then I stand in the middle of the room and they have to persuade me to come settle in their civilization by telling me about what's negative of the other ones or what's good about theirs. And as they give me something good, like I'll step towards them or be like, ooh, nope, I'm going to step away. So then I move, and it teaches them very early in the year how to kind of persuade and how to give that evidence without teaching them about doing evidence, because I teach 7th graders, and being able to write an essay with evidence is so important, but they don't understand it. They're just developmentally not ready yet. So this is a great activity to teach them how to go back and find that evidence in the text that they're reading.
Now, I have a question, and this is really totally sort of off the topic, but in number 1, when I was reading about Society A, the word irrigation was highlighted. Or
I'm going to show you that in a few minutes.
Pardon me?
I'm going to show you what that is.
Oh, okay.
So those are also the vocabulary words in the vocabulary tab. But I'm going to show you another feature that I think is going to work better. So if you go back up next to the highlighter is the printer icon, and that's pretty self-explanatory that you can print anything.
Nice.
So click on the little like speaker paper that's at the far right.
Okay.
So that's going to pull up a little toolbar that you can then move around your page. So we all know that students have lots of different ability levels, and we also know that some of our students are athletes and they come in with concussions and then they can't read what's on the screen.
Yes.
Activeclassroom has an embedded screen reader.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So this toolbar, if you hit play.
Level I, where would you settle? Although some people moved away from where would you settle? Although some people moved away from their.
Wow.
So that's there, and you just can hit the stop or the pause. Now, the other thing that I like is, so pick that word irrigation, just double click on it so it highlights just that word.
Okay.
And click on the little textbook that's in that toolbar, and a dictionary pops up.
Oh, look. Wow.
And it will also, if you hit the play, read the dictionary definition to them.
Oh my God.
Irrigation.
Oh, wow.
Although some people moved away from their homeland in ancient times, most stayed in the area where they grew up. However,
so then if you still stay on that irrigation word and you click on the little image picture next to the book,
yes,
it gives them a picture version of that word.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
So, and that works for any word. Now, the globe actually is a translator.
Oh, wow.
So I can actually highlight. So one of my students is only been in the United States for a year. He speaks Spanish. So what we've taught him to do is we teach him to highlight it. He goes to the globe.
Aunque algunas personas se mudaron de su
And
tierra.
it'll read it to him in Spanish.
Oh, wow.
But if you click on the little like gear kind of next to the 4 arrows, you can click on the word translations, and there are all sorts of different languages. So if you have students who come from, you know, Japan or Korea or China or Russian, they can set their language if you want it to read in Arabic. I have kids every once in a while, they're like, I wonder what Arabic sounds like. I said, well, go to Activeclassroom and change your settings. And they're like, oh, sounds a little harsh. And but then they get to explore, and I have kids that'll come back to me in Spanish and French, and they're like, I need my Activeclassroom set back up because I want to practice reading in Spanish or French. And I'm like, okay. So it gives a lot of flexibility for you as a teacher to meet the varying needs of your kids.
That's great. I didn't know all this.
Oh, good. Yay. So, and then I like that you can kind of drag the toolbar, and then if you want it to go away, all you do is hit the little speaker paper and it goes away.
Cool.
The speaker paper.
So the button next to the printer icon that we opened the toolbar with, if you click it, it goes away.
Yeah. Now, the only thing that's left is the like an arrows. The arrows.
Okay. If so you clicked on the arrows then. Oh, you clicked on the arrow. So if you click under log out is the actual paper that has the little A and the speaker. If you click on that, it will go away.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Bing, got it.
All right. So what I want you to do is I want you just to scroll down to the bottom of the paper or
Okay.
bottom of the page for level 1. Just pick a society. Just pick one and then just write some random letters in the box.
Okay. Reason for choices or
Yep,
whatever.
just write some random letters in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're going to actually turn in the assignment. And I like this because it always asks my students, are you sure you want to turn it in? And it says you can't change anything, but as a teacher, there is a way for you to give them another attempt, because we always have that 1 or 2 kids go, oh, wait, I hit turn in and there's 4 other parts.
Every time.
So then I always say, well, that's going to be a problem. Can you let me redo it? And then, you know, I make them beg a little and then I let them redo it.
Okay.
But you can set it up from the beginning, right? So
Yes, in the assignments for some of them that they can do multiple attempts. That's new this year.
Oh, I love
That
it.
hasn't always been there. So that's really nice. And then you can also show them the answers, which is really nice as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we turned that in, and that's another nice thing is it date stamps it. If you look at the top of your screen, it tells you that you turned it in. So that kid that says, oh, I turned it in on time. And I went, well, actually, screenshot, no, you didn't. You turned it in at, 10:42 when you were supposed to be in math class.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, they never do that.
Where is that?
So are you still on the page with the text that says level 1, where would you settle?
Yes.
In the white space right above the question mark, it should say you turned in this assignment.
No, it does not.
Do you have a little turquoise button that says turn in assignment?
Yes.
So click that button.
Click the button. Now, are you sure you wanted to? And I'll confirm. Got it. I wondered where I was missing out on that. Okay.
And now you can see at the top that you've turned it in and it gives you that date and time. Now my kids were quick to figure out it's, you know, West Coast time. And they're like, wait, but it wasn't 12:42. And I'm like, okay, well, the company's in California, so they're okay.
So deal with it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So then to get back to the main menu, go ahead and click on the A, the little white A in the top left next to Active Classroom. That's kind of like your main menu.
Okay. Good.
So then another way to get there is the three little dots will be like a pull down menu.
Okay.
I like the white A because it takes me back to my icons.
Yeah.
And I'm a creature of habit. I do things the same way, like with my kids, so they get that routine.
Yes.
So now what I want you to do is I just want you to take like 10 minutes and I want to show you a couple things. So there are videos, and some of the videos are like 2 minutes, some are 20, 25 minutes. The short, like 2-minute videos will sometimes have like a main idea details. And what I do, because I know for a lot of my students, they struggle being able to give me the main idea right away. So I show it to them once. We as a class talk about the main idea. Then I have them watch it independently and find the details when they watch it the second time.
Oh.
So it gives them kind of that scaffolding. And then when we get closer to the end of the year, I'll say, okay, watch it once for your main idea. Watch it a second time for your details. But for right now, we're still kind of watching and talking about it together.
Good.
So another resource that I like is Power Basics. So if you go on your list, the third item is Power Basics. I just picked one that says European Exploration.
Yes.
So go all the way over to the right to the rocket ship.
Oh, gosh. Wait.
So in that same row that says the title Power Basics, it'll say Power Basics, and it has Weinhold Carla, and then it has the dates.
Right.
And then keep going a little bit over and there'll be a rocket ship.
I am not seeing a rocket ship.
Well, if you just push the blue letters,
Oh,
it also
okay.
opens it.
Okay, got it.
Oh, you might not have been in the assignment list.
Yeah, we weren't.
So if you look at the Europeans Explore, I like the Power Basics because it chunks things in smaller pieces. So if you click on Exploration Fever, it has a few paragraphs and then a couple comprehension kind of check-in pieces. Sometimes they're always multiple choice or a true, false, something quick check-in. So I just did one of these with my students this week. We're on Rome and we were talking about the Punic Wars. So one of the Power Basics had 3 sections about the Punic Wars. So I only assigned those 3 sections. I ignored the other 6 sections when I was setting up the assignment.
Wow.
And then if I choose to do the whole Power Basic, I can choose activities to do. So if you scroll down to the bottom, there's different activities. So I can use that as like a formative assessment. Or I can choose to use none of the activities and use the quiz.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that is nice. I need to use that.
So I want to click on the quiz part. Okay. Oh,
And there are questions and it's multiple choice. And what's nice with a lot of these is anything that's multiple choice, Active Classroom grades for you, Sarah.
nice.
It makes your job as a teacher that much easier. And those same tools that we had in the reading are still available. So that same read to, the same dictionary, picture dictionary. So if the kids are struggling with words, those same tools are in every activity.
Wow. So if they didn't know what circumnavigating means, they could highlight that word and it would explain it.
Yep. So you just highlight the word, then they go to the speaker.
Okay.
Verb. Travel around, either by plane or ship.
And it's all right there for them.
Nice.
That is nice.
All right. So go ahead and click on the 3 little dots in the top left.
Okay.
and click on the assignments and grades from the list,
Okay.
like the third thing down, and then you're back at that list and you should see the rocket ships. Now you can see we turned in the decision making. There's a green little check mark.
Right.
So I want to show you another one, this history unfolding, because I know teaching ancient, we don't always get a lot of primary sources. And this one's, more closer to modern day world history, but I want to show you the activity. So in the history unfolding, all the way over to the right, next to the red X, is the rocket ship.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
click on
I
that.
can see history unfolding. Where's,
You might have to go
Okay.
down.
I had to scroll down. I did not. It says the rise of dictators. Is that
Yes,
the one?
it does.
Okay. And I'm at the rocket ship.
All right, click on the rocket ship and it'll open the assignment. I didn't add any teacher specific directions. That's why the little teacher instructions aren't there,
Okay.
because I was just using this to show you. So click on illustrations 1A and B.
Okie doke.
So what ends up happening is you get these images and then it also has background information. So you can do this in the classroom where you post a copy of the images and you can post the background information and you can have them have silent discussions where they go from each picture and write their comments or questions. I like to do with these, what do you see, graphic organizers? What do you wonder? So on one half, you tell me all the things that you can see in the picture. And then on the other half of the paper, what are you wondering about? What questions do you have?
And where do they write that?
I just have them do it on a piece of loose leaf notebook paper.
Oh, okay.
And then after we kind of talk about and they share what they see and what they wonder, then we look at the background information. So it gets them setting a purpose and thinking and inquiry. When that's what we want them to do in history, we want them to have that inquiry approach. So another thing that I like, so click on where it says click on the image to analyze above the two pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So all of the pictures are there, even though we only want them to look at the first two. But if you take your cursor, you have a little magnifying glass that's going around the page.
Oh my gosh.
So then if you look in the bottom right corner, you'll see a little gray box with turquoise arrows pointing in the corners. If you click on that, it makes it full screen.
Right.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And then if you go to the one at the bottom underneath it, it kind of looks like a diamond shape. This one I love because it's quadrant view.
How do you get out of the full
Just
screen?
hit the escape button.
Okay, good. Thank you.
So then hit that little diamond one and you could tell your students, I only want you to look at the top left quadrant.
Oh, nice.
And imagine how powerful. So I have an image of Julius Caesar in the Senate at one point where he's sitting way off to the right and the rest of the senators are off to the left. And I have them only look at the quadrant with Julius Caesar first. And then they're like, oh, he's, this guy's waiting for people to come and they don't know who he is. And then I say, okay, well, click on another quadrant. They're like, whoa, there's other people. And it's powerful to get them to start thinking about the connections and the wonderings and the inquiry with the pictures. So history unfolding is all images. It's all picture based.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Oh, I like that.
So go ahead and click on the three little dots and go back to assignments and grades. I'm just going to tell you kind of a little bit about some of them.
Okay.
So the turning points of video, and I like Activeclassroom that they have the little icons that can tell you, is it the book for reading? The fourth one down, mapping the news. That's the one, Natasha, I was kind of showing you. That's a mapping activity. That's what that icon means. Then there's like interactive simulation with the little people. Sarah, this one I just did the other day. Do you teach Hannibal with the Punic Wars in Rome?
Yes, eventually, yes.
So we just did that this week. So we did Hannibal, and it's an interview. It's like a radio talk show. It's like a play.
Oh, how fun.
So I actually, in the virtual world, had, there were 9 questioners and a host and Hannibal, and my kids actually did the production. They loved it. I had some of my kids that were like way engaged, like animated with as Hannibal. But it's just another piece to give them information
Yes.
rather than just reading a text.
Yeah, how fun.
So History's Mysteries, there are some for US and world history. These are activities that are basically like crime scene investigations. I do the Black Death one and love it when we get to the Middle Ages. So there's somebody who dies, and they have to figure out, based on all the clues and the evidence, how did they die? And it ends up being that the victim was Jewish, and he was burned to death because a lot of the people in the Middle Ages blamed the Jews for the Black Death.
Oh, wow.
So then there's some more decision making. There are so many different activities. The Atlas activities. So Natasha has US history access. You have world history, Sarah.
Yes.
And there's different levels.
Good.
So I will typically use the level 1 with my students, but sometimes the level 2, because it goes through like the depth of knowledge, kind of gets a little more inquiry based. But I like with them, sometimes I'll only use like 2 of them. And just like the images in the history unfolding with those icons, you can do the same thing with maps.
Wow.
So now what I want you to do is I want you to log out of being the student, and I'm going to have you log in as a teacher and to your teacher account.
No, I'm kidding.
So now I'm going to show you all the cool things that you can do as a teacher.
Okay, hold on. This is going to take a minute.
That's fine.
Okay. Ooh, B.
And I know we are over time, so that's so. If you guys are okay, I'll show you a couple more things.
This is wonderful. I really appreciate you're taking your Friday to do this.
I don't mind at all.
You guys are doing great.
This is just such an excellent resource. And until you get in and dive into it, there are so many things you can do and so many ways to help your students with it. It's amazing.
There's got to be an easier way to do this than what I'm doing. So if I went on to that cute little icon that's in the right where it says student 2.
If you click on log out.
Oh, log out. Duh.
If you click log out, and then you're going to go back in and you're going to put your regular logins.
Right. And I automatically went there. So,
good.
Okay. Yay.
So the first thing you should notice when you're in on you as the teacher, you have way more icons.
Yeah.
So you still have the Atlas icon. So you can decide if you click on your Atlas icon, you're going to have a bunch of atlases that are there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And you can decide which ones. So Sarah, if you want the US history, if you click the 3 little dots underneath,
yeah,
you can share that atlas to your students. So Natasha, you can share the US history atlas with your students.
Oh, nice. Where are the 3 little dots to share it?
So right underneath the atlas, there's like a circle, line, circle. It's like a greater than, less than sign. Those I don't know, yucky math words.
There's eyeball, and then there's the 3 dots.
Yeah, and then you can share that and assign it to your students. So if I click on those 3 dots, then your students will appear.
Oh, wow.
And you can assign them. That's
and
great.
Then that's something that they'll always have with that little globe icon. And they only see the atlases that you assign to them.
Nice.
So then you have underneath that atlas, you'll have that same discussion. And remember, to get back there, you just click that white A at the top. You have the same discussion icon that they do and the same assignments and grades.
Okay.
But I want you to click on activities because this is where you are going to have the most fun. It's like
Oh,
Christmas morning.
It
So
is.
come look at my screen for a few minutes. I'm going to show you some of the things that I'm going to let you search.
Oh, no, don't ask me to do that. Okay, let me try.
If you think you want to, if you are still on your screen and you want to stay in your screen and I can kind of talk you through it, we can do that too.
Well, because I'm having no joy in finding the
Okay,
Zoom.
then just stay on your screen.
Thank you.
So when you are in your active classroom, in your activities, do you see the kind of black space at the top and there's like a white box that says search by keyword?
Yes.
So what is one of your topics that you are going to teach in the coming week or two?
We're talking about ancient India.
Okay, so if you actually in that search box type in ancient India,
Okay.
for like there's an amazing Ahsoka thing in here.
Oh, good. That would be perfect.
There's one of those interviews that I talked about with Hannibal. There's an Ahsoka interview too.
Okay. Here.
So
Okay.
if you scroll down to the bottom of your screen, you're going to see for ancient India, you're going to have 2 pages. So you have like 40 different things about India.
Okay, now I'm not seeing that, so hold on.
So in your white box, did you
I-
type ancient India and then hit enter?
Okay, but it did not do anything. Let me try again. Okay.
If you spell a word wrong, it will tell you there are no resources. I learned that the hard way because I am not the best speller and I'll be like, oh, I always seem to spell Renaissance wrong. I can never get the letters in the right order.
That one's hard. I agree.
Well, so I'm looking and I've typed in ancient India, spelled correctly. Search. Okay, there I go. Now I'm in it. Okay, wow.
So there's a bunch of different activities that you can search through. So there's the Atlas activity when you talk about Hinduism and Buddhism.
Yep.
There's C3, like what happened to the Harappan civilization, and that's have some embedded primary and secondary sources in there.
Nice.
There's the everyday life. And then if you scroll down and click on page 2,
Yeah.
you'll see some more, you'll see there's a history apprentice. Those take a really long time, but you don't have to do the whole thing. I would say that's something once you get more comfortable with Active Classroom, but there's a bunch of the history unfolding. There's that interview.
Yes.
So see that interview and go all the way over to the right. You'll see the Lexile level at 950.
Right.
You see the eyeball.
Yep.
And then the little person, the check mark. Click that little star because that's going to keep it as a favorite and you can search by your favorites.
Oh, nice.
So now I want you to click on the little person icon because I'm going to show you how you can actually share this with your students.
Okay.
So click on the little person icon and a new window pops up. It says new assignment.
Correct.
And it has already as the title of the assignment, the interviews with ancient history.
Yep.
So just for now, just click a due date. So you can pick, that you want it due on February 3rd.
Okay.
And then what day you want them to have access to it, you can put, I want them to have access to it on the 3rd as well. I only want to give them one day.
So, and that's the unlock date?
Yeah, so the unlock date. So what ends up happening is it will show all of the assignments that you create in their list. But if you only want them to have access to it, so say you're going to be out and you want to make sure that you have it set up, or like I set up my assignments on Sundays when I'm doing my lesson prep for the week.
Right.
So I only unlock it the day that I want them to have access to it.
Yes, I understand that totally.
So then, and for due date, they can still go beyond that due date and
Okay.
it'll send you like a little thing at the top that'll say, oh, it's late. It's turned in, but it's late. So it gives you as the teacher a little notification.
Got it.
So next to unlock date is the show grades as. And it's up to you. I put everything in my grade book as percentage. So I choose the little pull down menu and I switch it to percentage. But if you as a teacher do points, it gives you those options too.
Nice.
So then click on that custom highlights.
Okay.
This is where I change the highlights to that green and pinkish for the decision-making activity.
Oh, okay.
So if I don't want that green highlight main idea, I click that little X. And let's say I want to add a pro and a con. So in the label box, I type the word pro.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And then I choose a highlight color. I just pull that pull down menu and I pick the color that I want.
Wow.
So the only thing is and then you just click add highlight. And then when I'm done, I just click done and the box will disappear. You cannot have a highlight the same color as another highlight.
Okay.
So then you click done and then you type in your instructions in the student box, and that's what that little paper, when we looked at the decision making and you could click on that first paper icon, that's because I put teacher instructions in there. So then there's two new options. This is where, Natasha, we were talking about before, that I can check this box and I can give students multiple attempts to complete an assignment if they score really low. And then I don't have to go in and give them another opportunity.
Right.
They can automatically choose that. And then it stores and I can see their answers, and then it stores that and then I can see the comparison.
Nice.
Then I also have the option that I can show students the correct answers after they submit. So you as the teacher, if it's something that I'm just doing to introduce something, I'll give them both. And because it's something that multiple attempts, it's about the learning process. If it's something that I'm using kind of as like a formative assessment or a check, I might show the correct answers, but I may not give them another attempt.
Got it.
So then on the bottom left, it says select the sections to assign. So you can decide. So if this was the Power Basics that had all those lists of different sections, I can pick which ones I want. So if I only want them to do the visit, the interview, and I don't care about the questions, I can uncheck the questions.
Oh, nice.
And they only get what you assign to them.
Wow.
So then in the middle are your students and your classes. So I assign things by class, but sometimes like when I was doing my, the level 1 and the level 2, I set up my groups where I have my above readers, my below readers. And there's a video that can show you how to do that. So I just click on which class I'm assigning it to.
Okay.
And it comes over to my section. And then all I hit is save assignment. Oh,
I did down at the bottom. Yes.
I did the wrong. Yep. Save assignment down at the bottom. And if there's an error, it'll tell you. If not, then it says, well done. And then this link is what you can post in your Google Classroom.
Oh, wow. And so that link then takes them right to that assignment.
Takes them right to that assignment.
Woo-hoo. But you do have to, register your kids first, meaning you don't have to do it, but you need to do it in class with them because that's a different link. And
I can show you how to do that too. It's really easy.
The first time are not going to be able to ever get in again. So they do reveal themselves as we're like, oh yeah, you never signed in last time. That's why you got a 0 on that one. Anyway, yeah, let's give you the registration code. So you might want to put that in your SFC.
Okay.
tiles, the registration code, like I said, for the slackers who don't do it the first time.
Yes,
Because otherwise it's kind of a pain for you to have to re-find it.
yes.
Even in Google Classroom, because as you know, Google Classroom, everything goes all the way down to the bottom. And you have to do a search for it. So
Yeah.
anyway, do you want to show her how to register students, or you want me
I
to?
can do that.
Okay.
So go on your screen. So click on the white A
Okay,
up at the top, and you have the icon with the little people says Manage Students.
correct.
So click on Manage Students,
Yes,
and it says you have a little turquoise button that says New Student Class.
correct.
Click that button,
Okay,
and you're going to name your class. So I'm going to call this my test class.
okay,
And then you're going to click Save. So whatever if you have period 1, if you want to call it period 1.
mm-hmm,
So then hit Save.
okay.
And then you go back up to the top and hit Classes again. You may have to click Groups, then Classes.
It let me go to my classes right off.
Okay, so then now do you see your class with like a turquoise?
Yes,
Okay, so click on your class and, oh, hold on.
it says it has no students.
Yes. Okay, so do this. Click on Students.
Click on new student class or,
No, new student, up at the top it says Classes, Groups, Students.
oh, yes, sorry.
So once you set up your classes, then you're going to click Students, and it'll say student name or email, and then it says students can register themselves using the URL.
Yes,
That's what you're going to copy and paste into what Natasha was telling you. And then they can pick which class. So when they click that, they get a little like registration form to fill out, and then they pick which class they go to.
I see. Okay.
So the last thing I want to show you, you're going to have to come back to my screen because you don't have any assignments.
Okay, hold that thought. How am I going to get there? Let's see. No. Go to this one. I just don't know how to. Oh, there you are. Yay.
Yay! Good. Okay, so when you assign something and you go in assignments and grades, this is from your teacher account.
Uh-huh.
So we completed this decision making. So now there's a new icon. So the kids had the launch, but you have a grade. You can edit. So let's say it's a snow. Well, you probably guys don't get a lot of snow. So we get snow days and I had it all planned. Now it's snow day. I need to change the due dates. I can edit that or I can delete it. So Natasha, this is where you want to delete those old assignments. Okay. So I'm going to go to grade and I can see level 1, what was answered. So I can go to student 1. They pick society A. They gave them an answer. I can also say, well, they only get 1 point for the society, but I want to give them 5 points for their reasons. You can pick what your point value is. So I didn't assign these. So because it was in the list, that's why it's seeing, but it'll say, nope, they didn't answer. So like for my students who say, I didn't know there were other parts, it'll show NA that they didn't answer. I can give them feedback. I can say just feedback on the question, your reasons need to be clearer. I can give them feedback. I can give them feedback on the assignment. Way to go. And then I can also give them the new attempt. Nice. So I can go to student 2. It also gives me who turned it in. And then I've graded that. So I can go to student 2 It kept my same point value. So then I can say, nope, didn't get it wrong, got a half point. Yep, got that one right. So now I go to my grade book. If they were in the right order. It shows me student 2's grade. It shows me students 1 grade. When I want them to see it, I publish it. Oh, and you know what I can do? I can go back to manage because I'll log in.
Oh, I didn't know that about the publishing. I thought they automatically saw their students.
No, so they don't see it. So I'm going to go to my demo account. I'm going to grade my answers. So then, anytime you change a grade or a student, you have to go and republish it. So these are all of the assignments that I assigned for you all. So I'm going to go back in as my student now. And I can go to my assignments and grades, and now my grade is there.
Oh, wow.
And I can actually go in and see, so those parents that want to see what did they get wrong, they can go in and see what they got wrong and see my comments and feedback to them.
Boy, this really is an amazing program.
It really is. So I want to show you one last thing on my screen. Let me switch back to my account. Is this professional learning?
Okay.
So there are, it takes a minute to load. There are webinars, there are micro credentials, which are little like professional development courses. There are all sorts of different things that you can take. So webinars, you can register from here. And you can also go back and watch past webinars that we've recorded.
Wow.
And then the last thing I want to show you is this question mark up here at the top.
Mhm.
There's a teacher guide. There's a student guide that the students have in their question mark. Tutorials. These are all those tutorials I was talking about.
Wow.
How to find things. There's one, how to link to your Google Classroom.
Oh, nice.
And there's like 2 little like courses, Active Classroom 101 and 102 that can help as well. They kind of did a little bit of what I did, but that would be a good little review.
Excellent.
So I know that was a lot of information. So I'm going to bring you
Good.
guys back over here and stop sharing. Is there anything that you guys still have questions? Because I know I kept you a really long time.
No, right now for me, it's just like, woo.
Just go in and play. As another teacher, just go in and play
Yeah.
and see what you can find.
Well, and I'm tickled to see all the different venues that there are out there for even ancient civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, and I can definitely help you, Sarah, when we're in school in person, and I can help
Yes, thank
set
you.
up or assign something if you aren't sure how to do it. I'm just grading one of their assignments right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm so thankful, Natasha, that you made us aware of this program. This is
So
wonderful.
I'm going to post in the chat. There's a link to just a little evaluation.
Oh, okay.
Just because we always want feedback on what we can do better. If there's more help that you guys need, Alicia's going to be your kind of go-to person, but she can always put you in touch with Pam or myself. I am always willing to answer questions, especially because, you know, teacher to teacher, I'm in the trenches doing it with the kids too.
And
I
it says
appreciate
that
that.
it can be attacked. So something keeps popping up for us that this says connection's not private, and that Atlas or Active Classroom there was compromised, and we need to change our passwords.